Hey guys, welcome to Smoking Something Sundays. This is a special Mother's Day edition. So today we're going to do our entire meal on the smoker. Now, I'm not going to give you a secret on my pork tenderloin yet. It's already on the smoker. But we're going to start with our baked potatoes. We're going to do smoked baked potatoes. Super easy. First thing you do, wash your hands. Then you wash your potatoes. Make sure they're nice and clean. Next, we're going to take a little bit of olive oil and you're going to put it over top of each potato. Because we're having people over today, our mothers. I'm gonna do up 5 of these big bad boys here. Make sure they have olive oil all over them. Now for the spices for this particular smoked potato, we're gonna use 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of ground pepper, and a full teaspoon, of garlic powder. So get your potatoes all olive oiled up. Get the excess olive oil off your hands. Then you're going to take your rub. I just like to use the word rub.
Will you be posting the recipe below?
I will. And you're in for a special treat because I owe you an extra video. I'm also going to smoke a strawberry pie today.
Whoa.
So, do one side, flip them over, do the other side in your pan. Feel free to rub the rub all over the skin. This is what's going to make it taste good for those of you that eat the skin. For those of you that don't, you're missing out.
I eat the skin.
Well, that negates that question that I was going to ask. Honey, do you eat the skin? But you already answered that, so guess I don't need to ask that one. Now, the smoker's been going for about an hour at 225 because there's a pork tenderloin on there. Again, that's not the recipe for today, and I'm not sharing that one with you. You're going to have to tune in for another episode for that one. So, got our potatoes ready. Now, let's throw them on the...
Potatoes, baby kittens.
Today's video has been brought to you by...
And interrupted by... Yes! Let's go out to the smoker. You never know what's going to happen.
That's awesome. We'll check them out in a minute, okay? Don't touch the kittens.
No, I already did. I did one.
Okay.
I petted one. And I bathed it.
So we throw our potatoes on our smoker. Smoker set with 225. We're still using our cherry and char hickory mixture. And there's our tenderloin wrapped in bacon. But again, that's a recipe for another day. See you guys in about 3 hours when these are done. Welcome back. So our baked potatoes are almost done. They have about 25 minutes to go. So we're gonna get started on our dessert. Now I already made the crust and it's been sitting in the fridge. So now it's time to pan it up. And we're making a smoked strawberry pie. So I've already sliced my strawberries and added sugar and cornstarch. That's what's causing that almost like a gelatin in there. So what we need to do first is we need to take our pie crust and put it in our pan. Now, words of wisdom. Whenever you're doing this or you're making something that requires a dough, use a little flour on your countertop. And this is one of the benefits of a quartz countertop, is you can put flour on it and roll it right out on your countertop. Just make sure your countertops are sanitized first. So we put our pie crust in, make sure you pat it down, let the air out so it's nice and tight against your dish. Now we're not going to use anything underneath of our pie crust, we're just going to go with that. Then we're going to take our filling. Actually, before we do that, let's trim it. So to trim it, it's going to go right around the edge of our pan. When you get to the handles of your pie pan, just kind of gauge where you want it on there. And we're going to do a basket weave on top, so whenever we get to that point, I'll show you what that looks like.
How are you going to do that?
We can discard that now.
What do you mean?
So what we're gonna do, and I have used 3 pounds of strawberries. I like a lot of strawberries in my pie.
Yum.
Just work them down. They all sit kind of level. Pop this in here, sort of fill all your little crevices there. All right, now we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna make our basket weave for our top. So what we need to do is you need to put a little flour down. This keeps your dough from sticking. Here's the other half of my dough ball. You also want to flour your rolling pin. Keep the dough from sticking to our rolling pin. I'll start by pressing it down by hand.
Is that why Play-Doh sticks to a rolling pin?
Yes, because you don't flour your Play-Doh. That's why Play-Doh sticks. And in case you guys didn't notice, I have a new cameraman for today, or for this part of the episode. The man, the myth, the legend, you know him as Carson. So you want to roll it out till it's about an 1/8 inch thick. So you're starting to get a little stick there. You want to get it to where it just covers the top of your pie plate. So roll it out one more time. I'm going to spin it, flip it, go lengthwise. All right, now about the size of our pan. Now we're going to cut it into strips. Try to make your strips as even as possible. That one's a little off. You can do this with a pizza cutter. I just like to use a knife. All right, now it's time to basket weave the top of our pie. So we'll start in the middle. And we'll lay the pieces across
Will you eventually cut that?
the pie. Yes, we will. That's a great question. Actually, let's nip this section off right here. Use that to trim off the side of our pie. Do the same thing to the other side.
So the point is you're basically going to be overlapping to make the basket
weave. What we're going to
weave?
do is we're going to overlap just like Carson said. So over, under, over, under, over. Take our next one.
Then you will...
And this one's going to go under, over, under, over, under. Now you notice I'm not putting them like real tight. I mean, you can do the entire top of your pie if you want. You don't actually have to do anything as far as a crust goes. So this one now goes under.
Is that the easiest form to put it? Like I've seen other things that people have done.
No, the easiest way to do this would be to just say the heck with it and put a full crust on the top and cut the middle. So now we're gonna go over, we're gonna go under.
Is this the first pie you have smoked?
It is not.
Really?
Okay, so we got our nice looking basket weave. Now we're just gonna trim same way we did earlier. Get that pie shape out of it.
Oh, that looks so good. Would you have to cook it to eat a pie, or?
Right now, it wouldn't taste very good because of the cornstarch and the amount of sugar. So some of that will bake off. So right now we're just tying everything together to make it look really nice like a store-bought pie. And again, I don't get too excited. My strips aren't perfect. But This is barbecue, not baking. So there's that. Remember, we're a barbecue channel first. Bakers come in whenever. So got our pie done up. Now one of the important steps, because like I said, this is barbecue and this is what we do. Time for an egg wash and a rub. So take one egg, beat it up. Take a brush, and all you're gonna do is brush the top of your crust.
How does the egg affect the crust?
If you've ever had a pie and you get that glaze look on your pie at the store, that's because they brushed an egg wash on it.
And then what does the rub have to do with it?
The rub just adds flavor.
So
You know what we're using for our rub today? Why don't you tell them what we're using for our rub today?
You're using brown sugar, pepper, and salt.
Now, how do you think that's going to taste? Brown sugar, pepper, and salt on a pie.
I would just imagining. I wouldn't think it would taste too well, but we will find out.
Okay, we're going to get all of our stuff set up here. Last bit of brushing on here. All right, move the rest of our egg away. Now, here you go. So here's our rub. Get that nice and loose. We're just going to sprinkle that across the top of our pie. All right, now we're gonna throw that on in 15 minutes at 400 degrees. So that'll be as soon as the potatoes and the pork loin come off, and we'll have a nice pie for dessert 40 minutes later.
Yay.
All right, guys, we are back, and here is our final pie. We've already started dishing it up, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to hear from the critics how it tastes. So here is our Mother's Day video, or our Mother's Day dinner. The moms. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hey.
Hi. Say hi. Mother-in-law. All right. Now we need the verdict on how was the smoked strawberry pie.
Oh my gosh, to die for.
I don't know if they heard that, Mom.
You have to go over there.
I've had this before.
But have you had it this time?
This is so different, and it's just.
Oh my gosh, so good. I don't want to rub it in Grandma Joy's face though.
So there you have it. Smoked strawberry pie is where it's at.
Next time it's out.
Enjoy.